Dexter Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Dexter, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Dexter Season 4 Episode 5. The title of this episode is called Dirty Harry. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Dexter arrives at the scene of the crime from where we last left off. Deb is alive. However, Frank Lundy, as we suspected, is indeed dead, and they think it's related to the vacation murderers as they were both robbed. And then Dexter finds out that Lundy was shot multiple times, and they just kind of left Deb alone after the first initial shot. Batista talks to Christine Hill and kind of feeds her a story about the whole Johnny Rose STD angle. And then Dexter is going to work a theory. He's going to work Lundy's theory and go check out his hotel room for clues. Because he knows that Lundy thought he saw Trinity. And then Dexter ended up leaving his phone at the house. And there's a call on it that Astor points out, and Rita has to answer it. And it's Dexter's landlord pertaining to his apartment that Rita didn't know that he still had. Deb knows that Lundy is dead. And then the love of Deb's life, Anton, shows up at the hospital. Rita also shows up and questions Dexter about having the apartment still, but then they decide that now is not the time to discuss this. And then Deb tells the love of her life, and this will be the last time I mention that she slept with Frank Lundy. So she says that Anton deserves so much better, and she breaks up with Anton, and he leaves and doesn't say anything to Rita and Dexter as he passes them on the way out. And unfortunately, that's the last we see of Anton's character. He had to go do Arrow. I don't know if that was the case right after this that he did Arrow, but yeah, he just kind of left the show. For her to say that that's the love of her life, that was just really weird. I guess I said that I wouldn't say that again. That just seemed really weird to me. So that's why I've been mocking that phrase since season 3. She didn't really, I mean, he's a CI that, well, she thought he was a CI that she had a fling with. But nonetheless, that's the last we see of Anton. So Anton was good, and hey, he's still out there. You never know if Dexter comes back. Anyway, Matthews also shows up at the station. We haven't seen Matthews in a while. Quinn, Masuka, and Batista talk about what Deb sees, or what Deb saw, I should say, during the whole altercation. Why Soderquist observes that from the background, but he's standing there, but it's like he's not really there. Trinity goes to the hardware store and gets a framing hammer. Quinn gives Christine Hill an orgasm. Christine Hill has to fulfill the nudity in each episode now. Deb has been released from the hospital and is staying with Dexter and Rita, Cody and Astor and Harrison. Batista didn't stay with LaGuerta for a night, as he's mad that LaGuerta she disclosed their relationship to the brass. Trinity takes a look at an office building to search for his next victim in his killing ritual, and Deb was also unaware that Dexter kept his apartment, and she's really pleased of why, or I should say she's really confused on why he would do that. Rita tells Deb that Lundy's death wasn't her fault. She says bad things happen. What does Rita know about Frank Lundy? Did they even have a scene together? I don't think so, unless when Rita showed up at the station and he was in the background. That would be the only thing that I can think of. Dexter listens to the tape that Lundy had, that he was describing what Trinity looks like, because what happened was Dexter had all of his tapes and didn't hear anything on it. Then he realized, well, you're using your recorder. Where's the recorder that Lundy had? Probably has his last tape in there, and it was in the evidence. So Dexter had to fool the evidence guy about, hey, Deb thinks she lost her ring somewhere, and then Dexter pretended that his latex glove was ripped, which it was ripped because he did it on purpose. So the guy, I'll get you a new pair of gloves, and then Dexter switched out the tape with a different tape in the recorder. But now he hears, Lundy say male, 6'4", 60s, gray hair, the darkest eyes, or blue eyes, but they're dark. There's like nothing in them. So now he knows, to a degree. Nikki Wald has shot and killed Johnny Rose as she's pissed that he has the STD and he was cheating on her. And then they end up capturing Nikki. Matthews wants to talk with Maria, and he congratulates her and says that Sergeant Batista needs to be transferred out of homicide because they have a relationship together, and he doesn't want that to compromise anything. Dexter is certain in a few hours Trinity will be on his table, wrapped in plastic, and then Deb wants Dexter to meet her at the site where she was shot and Frank Lundy was killed. She bitches to Dexter about him still having his apartment. Like, do you want to fuck shit up with Rita? And says she's the only fuck up in the family. And then Deb says that she's broken. And basically right here, Deb is having a panic attack. She's crying and just a mess. And I must hand it, this was excellent acting by Jennifer Carpenter. Because she's upset that she can't do anything now about Frank Lundy's death. And then after consoling Deb, Dexter goes back to his apartment and actually finds Rita there. And Rita is looking at the chest that Dexter keeps his kill tools in. However, of course, they're in the secret compartment that Rita's not looking at. But when Dexter does open it for her, there's a gun inside that he says was Harry's gun. And Rita knows that he's lying. I'm not sure why that she thinks he's lying about that, but I don't know. Rita's always got theories about shit. And she says that she thinks it's a good idea that he sleep at his apartment tonight. So it's good that he still has it. So it gives Dexter some time to go out and about. He goes to the office building to see, to find Trinity, and he goes in the surveillance room. And eventually he finds on the monitor a guy bludgeon another guy with a hammer. He sees Trinity, and he sees the part where Trinity like moves the guy's arm to point in a different direction. And then he follows Trinity out. He notices him leave in a van and follows him. And then he sees Trinity pull up at a house. And he says that Lundy and he were wrong. Trinity is a father or a husband and a father like me, like Dexter. And that's so he's got a family. And nobody thought that Trinity was a family man. So this was an interesting episode. That's how things end. I like the development with Trinity here. The sadness that Deb loses Lundy and Anton. Right? Did she really have to break up with Anton? She didn't have to tell him that she slept with Frank Lundy. But I guess she was really annoyed with him anyway. And it gives her an opportunity to find the next love of her life, possibly, whenever she's over, seeing one of her loves get shot and killed. So I'm going to give this episode an 8.8 out of 10. The female character of the episode was easily Deb, and she was the overall character of the episode, in my opinion. The male character of the episode, I think Trinity would get this one. Some could make a case for Sergeant Batista, but I'm going to give it to Trinity. And then I just have to mention again that Deb's acting when she was at the scene of the crime and just having a panic attack was fucking awesome. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of what I do on this channel, all the shows I cover, which are, of course, Dexter, Dexter New Blood, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Lost, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Ozark, UFC live fight reactions, and all the other random videos that I do. And if you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, which I do need help with, please make sure that you smash that like button. It doesn't take long, and it really helps the channel out, surprisingly enough. Share the video with whomever you want, or if you want to put it on your social media platforms, go ahead and do so. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Dexter. What would you rate it? Who would be your characters of the episode if you want to choose a male and female and overall character, and your favorite moments. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel as you're watching it anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.